This is 100 Founders, and I'm Dave Rubenstein. Join me as we guide founders through the messiness of founder-led sales on their path to building a scalable go-to-market machine. Let's dive in. All right, welcome Zach from Syft. Zach, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey there, I'm Zach Wright. I'm based in Austin, Texas. I'm the co-founder and chief revenue officer of Syft AI. We started about 2 years ago. Our mission is to help sellers find the pipeline they don't know about yet.
All right, and I know everyone wants to see the demo, but before we get into the demo, maybe one fun fact about you.
Yeah. Outside of Syft, I started my own family. I have a 2-year-old son, Charlie, but we've got another little boy on the way due at Christmas. Can't believe that I'm like mildly panicking as I say this, 10 weeks out. So we're getting close.
Exciting, and oh, by the way, you're running a company while all this is going on. So
Yeah.
congrats to you. Hopefully, some of the folks on the line can relate. Can you tell us a little bit about the problem that Syft solves?
Yeah. For outbound B2B sales teams, so basically anyone targeting anyone except for mom and pop shops, so like mid-market and enterprise. There's a lot of wasted effort around random prospecting, right? So and figuring out who should I be targeting? Why am I a good fit? A lot of times companies say, I don't lose because the competitor is better. I lose because I didn't have a seat at the table. Well, Syft is an AI sales application. We help find companies with real problems that you can solve and then generate perspective driven messaging. And our team, we're a bunch of ex-sellers. So we really understand the job to be done and the context of what we're trying to accomplish. We really are trying to get away from the volume game. We like to say, hey, if the volume game or spray and pray is giving you less than 1% results, well, if you double your volume or 2 times 0 is still 0, right? It's not worth it. So we got to be doing things a little bit smarter than the way it's been done in the past.
Love it, love it. So can you walk us through what a day in the life would be like with someone who's using Syft?
Yeah, and I'll show you 3 things that maybe a VP of sales or an SDR leader would be drooling over. The first thing I'm going to show is value matching, which is a concept that we coined, but it's essentially who is actively showing signs of a problem or initiative that my company could solve for. Then I'm going to literally hit go, and Syft is going to go generate perspective-driven messaging with recommended contacts. And then lastly, I'm going to show just connecting downstream to your system of action. So pushing that perspective-driven messaging and recommended contacts into your engagement platform.
That sounds awesome. I know everyone's excited to see it.
Yeah.
How long does it take for someone to set up Syft?
Yeah, you're live in under a week. Where we pretty much do custom demos. So during the pre-sales process, we show you your prospects that maybe are even in your CRM that are actively looking for what you solve for. So turning that over, we just have to connect your system of engagement and set up the profiles for each of the reps.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to show you my own profile. So it's like we're going to be prospecting as we talk here. Yeah. So essentially, we've trained our models on initially from the website, different product descriptions, win stories, and top use cases. So you can see, hey, here are some good things. Maybe they're leaning into or embracing AI. They're launching a go-to-market in the US. Maybe they're using friendly technologies. Probably a bad thing if they're only targeting mom and pop shops, right? So just kind of giving you a glimpse of some of the things that we trained it on. We pointed it at an ICP. We're scraping for data every single day. And on a Monday, a seller logs in and they get a new batch of value matches in their ICP. And essentially, we're giving you a list to scroll through and to take action on. So it makes prospecting a lot more clear and confident versus a random spray and pray action. The first thing I was going to show you is this value matching effort, which is we are simply giving you a one-liner why we think, based off of everything that we found, what do you care about? What should we be showing you? What is your value prop to align to what we found? And then give me the evidence of where we found that information, right? So investment in AI-driven go-to-market infrastructure is one thing Miro's talking about, right? So I would just say action and quick prospect, and we're going to go and generate value, perspective-driven messaging with recommended contacts, right?
So
So
what I'm seeing here, Zach, I just want to make sure is that there's no guesswork about why Miro was selected. You're kind of taking away the black box of like just random accounts showing up as good fits, and you're actually explaining why the system is calling this a good fit.
yeah, yeah, and it's kind of three main parts. It's I don't want to miss low-hanging fruit opportunities that are out there that are actively looking for what we solve for. I also want to be able to connect the dots. Maybe for some of our customers, they have a platform and there's many different offerings. So how do I connect the dots to what value prop is aligned to what we found? And Workday is a great example of that, one of our customers. And then thirdly is I want to onboard my reps very quickly if they're new hires to be able to quickly get like learn by trial by fire, right? Like they get into the game and learn by doing. So that's certainly something that we're seeing here. So a seller, you can see I've these little sent to destination. You can see I've already acted on almost all of these. So I've done my prospecting almost for the week for some of our top value matches. You see some like Vanta and all that. I left one here that will actually act on. But you can see all of the companies that I've been prospecting into. So we're moving to the second stage, which is we hit go and we went and generated value messaging. Let's look at the one that I didn't send to destination already and Launch Darkly. And if Launch Darkly is seeing this video, hopefully they see that this actually is one-to-one. It's not a one-to-many effort. But now you can see where the second thing I wanted to show was this perspective-driven messaging and the recommended contacts here that should be receiving this message. But we are personalizing to, hey, I saw this happened, and reference the sources that we found. What challenge comes with that? How does Syft solve for that? And then give us a win story to reference with impact, right? So we're going and generating these perspective-driven messaging that we're getting responses from our customers are getting responses. One last week was, hey, I never respond to emails, but this was the best email I've received in 25 years, right? So it's like, it's just so funny because it's refreshing that it's not spam cannons of, I saw you also went to Ohio State, pitch my product, right? It's more, I have done my research about what's going on at your company, and I have at least given a thought to how I think we can help. Then we're going and getting the people with their emails and all of that. And then the third thing I wanted to show was as easy as it is to, we connect to some of these sales engagement platforms. So it's like, here's outreach. I have an outreach sequence called Syft AI first go to market. So that's going to be, I'm going to drop them into that sequence. The first step of that sequence is going to be this message to these people. And then I've got follow-up steps of that sequence that it will go into. So I'm going to kick off that email and it's going to go and send. I also like to, as I send that email to folks via outreach or whatever it is, I'm going to LinkedIn request every single one of these folks. About 40% will accept blindly. And then I'm going to share a screenshot of the value match that I just created here. And I'm going to say, hey, thanks for connecting, John. Just wanted to share my perspective as you guys adopt AI in your go-to-market and grow your mid-market team, right? So basically everything that we surfaced in that value match. So I scheduled a meeting yesterday from that exact technique, which has been fun.
So what I just saw was on the LinkedIn piece, there's a natural opportunity to add contacts within that account. I haven't traditionally seen a lot of companies do that. That usually ends up being a manual task that someone has to remember. So the fact that you just made it easy feels like a great way for people to go multi-threading right out of the gate at the beginning of a sales cycle.
Yeah, I still have to go connect with these folks because we don't automate tasks on LinkedIn because LinkedIn doesn't allow that. That's against their terms. But we give you a spot where you can connect to their, like, go to their LinkedIn profile and connect, request them, And then about 40% will accept that connection request. And I'm following up with this message. So every morning for 10 minutes, I'm sending these screenshots of value matches of, hey, why we're a good fit. And they appreciate especially for us, where it's kind of us demoing the product's value to them. But our customers are certainly showing that they've done their homework, which is incredible.
Love it. Love it. So kind of last thing is really where, if you showed a lot, can you just remind people the 3 things that you want them to take away from this?
Yeah. If there's 3 things that I'd want you to remember, we find pipeline you didn't know existed. That has been a recurring theme for all of our customers, which it's, hey, value matches that you're showing me, we didn't even have in our CRM. So like, even if we hired 50 more people, we weren't divvying up these accounts at all in the legacy way of territories, right? The second is we give reps the answer before they ask. When you think of traditional AI technology for sales, you go think Perplexity or any of these things, you ask it a question, it gives you a thoughtful response. I want, instead of asking a question, getting a thoughtful response, I want AI to bring me the answer before I ask, right? So it's doing that on a weekly basis, bringing you those answers. And then just making outbound relevant again. Like, a lot of companies have given up on outbound, and rightfully so if they were getting sub 1% response rates, right? But we have some customers that they have a very targeted ICP, but they're scheduling many meetings through outbound. One of our newest customers never had an outbound focus. It was mainly inbound for marketing and their channels. They just set up Syft. 5 weeks into it, they've got 20 meetings set, 17 of which turned into opportunities. And I would say these opportunities are real because we've identified there are active projects going on at this company, right? So they're thrilled. Like, their CEO talked about us at their board, how we've changed their outbound. So it's, how do we make outbound relevant again? Those would be the 3 I'd say.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. If people want more information on Syft, where can they go?
Yeah, you can go to Syft with a Y, syftai.com, or you can connect with me, Zach Wright, on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, and apparently with the marketing team, I'm supposed to be a lot more active coming up here. So hopefully you see a lot more content coming out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach. And for anyone on the line who's interested in Syft and learning more, please, when you reach out to Syft, mention that you learned about this on 100 Founders. So thanks, everyone. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining. For the latest research and other demos, visit us at 100founders.ai. Founder-led sales is messy because many founders have never sold before. That's what I solve. Visit 100founders.ai and hit schedule to find time to talk. We'll see y'all next time.